Hi guys, and welcome to a special Christmas episode that we have going on. We actually had another Christmas episode recorded, but something ended up happening. We ended up losing it. We still have the audio for it, so if you want, we can put the audio together in a picture slideshow or something. But yeah, it was actually between me and Seth, and since me and Matt on Thanksgiving had talked about, you know, some of our favorite console games, me and Seth decided to talk about some of our favorite handheld games. But like I said, unfortunately we lost the video for it. The card that we had put it on ended up getting corrupted somehow. We still don't know what happened exactly, and it ended up making us reformat it. So fortunately the video's gone. But like I said, we can put up the audio if there's enough demand for it. So what I decided to do is, we still got the stocking hanging up in the background, as you can see right here. Oh, over this way. There we go. And so what I decided to do is do a list of 10 games in no particular order. It's not like, oh, these are top 10s and 10s worst and one's best. No, there's no particular order. It's just basically going to be about 10 games that you could get yourself, a loved one, or you know, your children, whatever that whatever floats. You know, if you want to receive it yourself from somebody else, it's just kind of a list of games to look at. So go ahead and we'll talk about the list and talk about the games a little bit, and then after that, I kind of want to talk about some future releases that we're going to be looking at coming up this next year. Also, I want to let you guys know that this is going to be the second to last video of this year. I think we're trying to get the New Year's one out before New Year's, if we can. If not, this is going to be the last one, and then we'll see you guys next year. But if not, we'll have one more. So go ahead and get right into the list. The first one I have would be World of Warcraft. The reason I bring that one up is not only did the expansion come out earlier this year, and me and Matt talked about it, but it is a big game, and it's a lot to do in that game. So if it's something that somebody's looking for, that they want a lot to do and have fun with, and do all kinds of crazy things, whether it's actually questing and leveling up, or you know, running through dungeons and fighting monsters, or you can even do everyday things of fishing and mining and whatever else that could float your boat. I mean, there's really not much you can't do in this game. So that would definitely be something I would look into for a loved one, or if you know you have it and you want somebody else to play with, you definitely look into it. Next one would be Diablo 3. Another great game made by Blizzard. We kind of discussed it a little bit in a podcast, and we were throwing it around for a while whether we're going to review it or not, because we started doing the show after it came out, and it's a great game. Me and my editor Brian play it a lot. Unfortunately, we haven't really been able to find a third or a fourth, which we would like, but you know, me and him are very dedicated. We actually just beat it on Inferno together last night, so that was something we were quite proud of, and now we're working on working harder on the monster power levels and trying to get the keys to make the Infernal machine and so on and so forth. But it's definitely something to look at. The only downside to that game that I feel is that towards the end of the game, when you get to Inferno, you're very dependent and very rely on the auction house quite a bit. But otherwise, a great game, a great hack and slash RPG. I would definitely say pick that up for you or a loved one. Number 3 we have, I would say, is Assassin's Creed 3. I love the Assassin's Creed series. Unfortunately, with every other game that's come out, the last one I played was Brotherhood. I played through 1, 2, and then I got about halfway through Brotherhood, but at the time, there was a bunch of other games that came out with it, and I really never got to finish it. And then, of course, the second expansion for 2 came out, and I never got to play that one. And so then 3 came out, and I haven't played that because I didn't get to play the other one. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to physically play them yet. I've watched other people play them, and they look beautiful. Look like great games and a lot to do. I would definitely say pick that up. I mean, if it's anything like the older ones, definitely pick it up. Of course, everybody knows that Nintendo released a new console, the Wii U, and with that, a plethora of new games come out, and I would definitely, being at the age that I grew up, would definitely say for a fourth one, pick up the Super Mario Bros. Wii U. It looks like an amazing game. You get 4-player co-op, and then even with the pad, if you have it, you can have a 5th player, put in, things for you to jump on and do other things with it. So it looks like it could be an amazing game, and I definitely want to get my hands on one. And for anybody that grew up in that era, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Mario's where it's at, and I don't think you could really go wrong with it. Then, of course, number 5, I have, and we did a review on this game, pretty extensive, me and Seth, would be Halo 4. Obviously, for the reasons why me and Seth did the review, it's an amazing game, amazing shooter. Definitely would pick it up. If you want to know more about that, go ahead and check out my review video for that. Way to shamelessly pitch myself on my own show, huh? Alright, and then the 6th one would definitely have to be another Blizzard game, StarCraft II Wings of Liberty. And I say pick that up if you haven't now, or get it for a loved one now, or whatever that's interested in those games, because the expansion is going to be coming out in about 3.5 months, Heart of the Swarm. And so if you haven't played Wings of Liberty, I would definitely say pick it up, get it for a loved one, whoever you're looking at getting it for, just because Heart of the Swarm is coming out, and that looks like it's going to be an amazing expansion, just as long as Wings of Liberty, and I honestly can't wait to get it. The collector's edition looks amazing, and once again, I'm going to shamelessly pitch myself. Look out for that review when it comes out. And then, of course, for those of you that have children, or young nieces and nephews, or whatever that like the game, I would definitely say Lego Batman 2 came out earlier this year, or Lego Lord of the Rings, one of those. I mean, even somebody my age, I enjoyed the Lego Star Wars games. So, I mean, even if you aren't necessarily wanting to play with your children, those are definitely games that would be great to play with them, because not only it's Lego, it keeps them enthralled, but then at the same time they're things like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or even Batman that things when I was younger keep me enthralled. So, if I had decided to get it for one of my nieces or nephews and they wanted me to play, I would definitely do it. I would definitely pick it up and play with them. For you PlayStation owners, the All-Star Battle Royale came out. It's kind of like for people at Nintendo with the Super Smash Brothers. You have different PlayStation characters that kind of crossed over. There was a few, I know, like the Big Daddy from BioShock's in there, which is in both. And I know that the new Dante from the new Devil May Cry is going to be in there, and he's kind of in both. But, you've got the staples like Kratos. You have, what is his name? Drake, I want to say, from Uncharted 3. Then you've got, like, Sackboy. Sly Cooper's in there. Ratchet and Clank are in there. Rapper the Rapper is in there. There's different things. There's somebody from Tekken in there. So there's different fighters in there that it would be cool. It's a teen rating, so don't expect to be like, oh, Kratos is in there. Maybe it'll be bloody. It's and Sweet Tooth's also in there too. So I thought that would be kind of cool. Unfortunately, me, I like my fighters bloody, like Mortal Kombat. But, if it's something you're looking for, kind of like a party game, definitely, I would say pick it up. Then the 9th one, I would definitely say the Mass Effect trilogy. That they just released a bundle for that, and I would say pick that up. It's got 1, 2, and 3. 1, compared to 2 and 3, is a decent game, but obviously 2 and 3 are better. And I don't, the people that have played it, I don't want the ending of 3 to ruin your experience for these games, because the games themselves are amazing. The choices you make are amazing, and unfortunately the ending for 3 ruined the series for a lot of us, but I would say don't let it. Enjoy the games for what they are. I mean, since there's been so many talks and rumors of a Mass Effect 4 or Mass Effect MMO, or, there's been different talks of different games starting to come out, so I would definitely pick those up if I were you. And then I'd have to say the 10th one just because it's such a fun game and the DLC that usually comes with it, I would have to say Borderlands 2. You know, it's a lot like Diablo, whereas you work together, you work, you quest, you fight monsters, you try and get better, loot, you just go through and decimate enemies, and you can do it in a group of 1 to 4, and it's always a fun time. It's another game that me and Brian usually play together, and we usually have a fun time doing it, and just trying to get so much loot and trying to get better guns and see what each gun does. This one sprays acid bullets that explode when they hit the ground, or this one shoots fire and explodes as soon as it hits. There's so many different combinations of things that could happen that it's such a fun game, and I would definitely pick it up. I mean, the 2 DLCs that are out are a pirate themed one, and then they just came out with the Mr. Torg one, which is kind of more of an arena, kind of like Mad Moxie. But I've been playing through it, and it's kind of got some interesting quests in it. It's not just like Mad Moxie where it's like, okay, wave, wave, wave. You have different quests and you have different things you collect, and the nice touch that I like is that Mr. Torg is voiced by the same voice actor that does Mr. Satan in Dragon Ball Z. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing, like, oh, I get to listen to Mr. Satan talk to me all the time. So that would definitely be my list of 10. Pick up for your loved ones, for yourself, or hope to get in a Christmas list or whatever. Those 10 games right there, I feel are definitely a good collection of games that you might want to pick up. Kind of going on to some other news. After this video and then the New Year's one, we're going to kind of start revamping a little bit where we're going to give the review of games, but we're going to make them a little bit shorter, and then we're going to be talking about gaming news and new releases that are going to be coming out, and just different things that are happening in the gaming community. And then for pretty much any other information news that's coming out, it'll be our audio podcast. But for this show specifically, we'll be doing pretty much gaming news as it happens, when it happens, and I'm actually going to start trying to do more walkthroughs. I know I haven't done any really yet, but just for like when the Dragonborn DLC came out and me and Jordan were talking about it, there were parts where I didn't know what to do, and Jordan had already played it, so he's like, oh, go here, go here, go here. So I kind of want to do that for the people that watch my shows, that at the same time I can make walkthrough videos, so that way somebody gets that and they're like, I don't know what's going on. They can look at my videos, I can explain what's going on, they can see what's going on, and they can get through. So as we end this one, I just kind of want to mention, I already did mention, StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm is going to be coming out. Some other games to look forward to, Gears of War Judgment. I know I've been kind of on it, kind of the same reason I was with Halo 4. They kind of tweaked it a little bit, so there's going to be classes, and it's supposed to be more like Battlefield 3, and so I'm going to pre-order it, and I'm going to get it, obviously, for the fans of the show, and plus I want to try it out and give the review, and but it's kind of one of those that I'm kind of about, so but definitely look forward to it, and see what's going on with that one. Dead Space 3. Love Dead Space 1 and 2. Those games actually are one of the few nowadays that actually scare me. Resident Evil, and I did that review, and it really didn't scare me all that much. I mean, there were some creepy parts, and there were parts where I'm like, oh crap, but it's not like the same with Dead Space. That one, it's, I like to turn out the lights, have my surround sound on, and scare the crap out of myself. I have to wear diapers. But the thing I'm looking forward to that is it actually has co-op. That's another thing. Like, I've loved that game, but I've wanted to go through with a friend. And they tried a multiplayer, I know, with 2, and it was kind of unbalanced, because the more you ranked up, more powers you unlocked. But then if you played against people that were higher than you, you couldn't really rank up, because you would lose all the time, where you still got experience, but it just wasn't, it didn't seem very balanced. So, but the big game that I'm really looking forward to is South Park Stick of Truth. Just because it's a South Park game, and, Matt Stone and Trey Parker worked on it with Obsidian to make this game. It's going to be an RPG. You're going to be the main character in the story. I'm definitely looking forward to it. The only problem I've had with this is Obsidian has been one of those companies where I've been very on the fence about, because Knights of the Old Republic, one of my favorite games of all time. I honestly think they trashed the series when they made Knights of the Old Republic 2. I didn't like it. And then Fallout 3, amazing game, and then Fallout New Vegas. While it was a good game, I think honestly Obsidian kind of did some stuff there. And I know a lot of people won't agree with me, but that's just my feeling on it. So I'm actually really looking forward to it, and I'm hoping that Obsidian makes a good game. And I'm hoping, since Matt and Trey are both working on it, that it since it's close to their heart, that they'll do well. So anyway, we'll wrap up this episode. Not really much else, but there's the list, and you guys have a Merry Christmas, or, for those that celebrate something else, Happy Hanukkah and Happy Kwanzaa. So I will see you guys for the New Year's video, and I hope you guys have a good time with your families.
It was a nightmare.